My name is Talus Schreiber.
And I'm Jarrell. Thank you all for tuning in to the final episode of Buff Sports Live for this semester.
We have had a very eventful year so far, and we are excited to share some of those parts with you. We begin with a blockbuster commitment landed by Coach Prime and the football team. On Thursday morning, five-star offensive tackle Jordan Seaton of IMG Academy went on Fox Sports 1's Undisputed and announced that he was committing to Colorado. Seaton was the highest-ranked uncommitted prospect of the 2024 class, listed as the 15th best overall prospect in the nation by 24/7 Sports, as well as the top offensive lineman. He chose CU over college football juggernauts Alabama, Ohio State, and Oregon, among others. His commitment could have a gigantic ripple effect on other top recruits nationwide. Being the third straight year Coach Prime has recruited a five-star to his respective school, along with Travis Hunter and Cormani McClain. Seaton should be a stalwart of a hopefully much improved offensive line, set to protect Shedeur Sanders next season. Now, Leo Rivera takes us in depth on Sports Illustrated newest sports person of the year.
Hello Buff fans, happy Friday and welcome back to this week's edition of Buff Banner. My name is Leo Rivera and today I will be telling you about Coach Deion Sanders receiving the Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year award. Our beloved coach has had a drastic impact in Boulder since the day he arrived just over a year ago. In that span, he has brought national attention to our school and brought in top talent like Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. Although the record didn't reflect the true change, this has been one of the most special seasons in recent memory. Looking at Coach Sanders' past of being on the cover of Sports Illustrated, it was no surprise he was featured again as a Sports Person of the Year. Sanders was presented his award Wednesday night at the CU Events Center, and this was in conjunction with the premiere of Season 2 of Coach Prime on Amazon. With his family and friends beside him, it was clear that Coach Sanders won't be leaving anytime soon. So what does that honor mean for Prime? Although I can't read minds, I can explain my interpretation of the value of this award. It shows the community by the city of Boulder accepting Coach Sanders, and not only is it our community being impacted, but the whole country feels the Prime effect. Sports Illustrated is recognizing not only what Coach Sanders has done for Boulder, but for sports fans as a whole. Particularly in minority groups who have now got a face to look up to, Coach Prime doesn't do anything normally, which makes him such a unique and impactful figure. All of the buzz should have fans excited for next football season. I know for a fact that I cannot wait to see what this team does this offseason and how the pieces will come together next year. Add on the commitment of Jordan Seaton and the expansion of the college football playoffs in 2024, I think we'll be in for another great year next year. Well, that's all I have for today's banner. I hope you all stay warm over the break and enjoy the holidays. Spend some time with your families and enjoy some sports. This has been Leo Rivera. Back to you guys at the desk.
Wow, this past year with Coach Prime sure has been a whirlwind for Buff fans. Speaking of whirlwinds, two-way star Travis Hunter was flying all over the field for the Buffaloes this season. His efforts on offense and defense made Hunter the most versatile player in college football in decades. Hunter's two-way ability has earned him the 2023 Paul Hornung Award, which is given to the most versatile player in college football. He was also honored with being named a Sports Illustrated All-American at the all-purpose position. Hunter tallied 31 tackles, 5 pass deflections, and 3 interceptions, helping him add Pac-12 defensive first team to his list of accolades.
Along with Travis, 4 other Buffs made all Pac-12 teams. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders, punter Mark Bassett, and safety Shiloh Sanders were among the honorable mentions, while running back Dylan Edwards made the all Pac-12 freshman team. Also, as an honorable mention, Bassett, Edwards, and the Sanders brothers were big-time contributors to the black and gold all season long, and they truly earned every bit of their all-conference awards.
Travis Hunter's Paul Hornung Award takes us right into our trivia question of the week. When was the last time a Colorado player won a major national award? We'll have that answer for you later in the show, so stay tuned. The transfer portal officially opened up on Monday, December 4th, and has gotten off to a hot start. Players around the nation have been declaring their intentions to transfer for weeks now, and over 1,000 players have entered the portal since it opened just yesterday. The Colorado Buffaloes got a commitment from the #1 lineman in the country, Jordan Seaton, from IMG Academy. Seaton is the 13th overall ranked recruit in the 2024 high school class and will most likely start immediately for Colorado, protecting the blind side of Shedeur Sanders. As of right now, he would be the 3rd highest ranked signee in Colorado football history. On the flip side, the Buffs have had 7 players enter the portal since Thanksgiving, with the 2 most important names being walk-on tight end Michael Harrison and running back Anthony Hankerson. All 7 players that entered the portal this offseason have been with the program since before Coach Prime's arrival. The portal remains open for 30 days and closes on January 2nd.
Since the end of the season, CU has lost 4 of their 10 full-time assistant coaches. The 3 more recent losses being Nick Williams, who was the Buffs defensive end coach, Bill O'Boyle, who was the offensive line coach, and Tim Brewster, who was the tight ends coach. CU has already announced replacements for Nick Williams and Bill O'Boyle. The Nick Williams replacement is defensive analyst Vincent Dancy, who was previously a head coach at Mississippi Valley State for 5 years. Bill O'Boyle's replacement is Phil Lodeholt, who was a former offensive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings and most recently an analyst at Oklahoma. Coach Sanders already stated that Pat Shurmur is likely to become the next offensive coordinator, so all that's left to replace is the vacant tight ends position. We will see likely who the final hire will be for the coaching staff in the next coming weeks.
The women's basketball team picked up 2 more victories this past week over the Air Force Falcons on Saturday and the UT Arlington Mavericks on Tuesday. The wins moved CU's regular season record to 9-1 against Air Force. A strong defensive effort held the Falcons to just 34% shooting, eventually prevailing by a score of 74-58 against UT Arlington. It was the offensive's turn to shine. For more on that game and the team's immediate future, here's Harrison Simeon.
There's a package. Okay. Then let's move.
After the clash with Northern Colorado, the 8th-ranked Buffs will open their final season of Pac-12 play on December 30th at home against the 11th-ranked Utah Utes. They then take on Arizona schools on the road, the Cal Golden Bears, and the 9th-ranked Stanford before the end of winter break.
Senior guard Frida Foreman led Colorado women's hoops in both games this past week. She had 23 points in each game while also knocking down 12 three-pointers on 19 attempts. Foreman's play to start this season has been unreal, as she once again tied the school record for threes made in a game with 7 against UT Arlington. 6 of those 7 triples came in the first half alone, shattering the previous record for 3.5. Through 10 games this season, Foreman leads the squad with 16 points per game. Her efficiency has been a sight to behold as well, as she is shooting just a tick under 50% from the field as well as from long range, and she's a perfect 100% from the free throw line. While these unprecedented percentages may not last an entire season, Frida, as she is called, has been a sniper for CU and has been a key driver in the Black and Gold's electric start to the season.
The men's basketball team took care of business last Sunday with a huge win over the Pepperdine Waves that maintained Colorado's perfect record at the CU Event Center. The Waves stuck around for the first few minutes, but their inability to get to the paint against the Buffs defense allowed Colorado to separate early in the first half, as CU didn't look back for the rest of the contest. Tristan Da Silva led all scorers with 22 points as he shot a perfect 100% from the field, along with a perfect 10-4-10 from the charity stripe. Cody Williams added 21, scoring 20 or more points in back-to-back games for the first time in his young collegiate career. With the Miami Canes on Sunday, the Buffs look to carry some of their momentum before they play the 15th-ranked team in the nation.
Notably absent from the roster as they head to Brooklyn will be key rotational guard RJ Smith, who suffered a lower leg injury ahead of their game earlier this week against Pepperdine. Although Smith did not have a huge rotation, averaging just under 12 minutes a game, his possibly longer-term absence is expected to force Coach Boyle's hand to change up the rotation. Junior guard Julian Hammond is expected to fill Smith's spot in the rotation. Hammond played a career-high 25 minutes during the Pepperdine game. Joining him and filling the void from the injury is likely to be redshirt freshman Harrison Carrington. Coach Boyle expressed his faith in the team's depth this year while dealing with injuries in his post-game comments after the win against the Pepperdine Wave.
Coming off of a resounding win over Pepperdine last Sunday, the Buffs took to carry some of the Event Center magic to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn against the number 15 Miami Hurricanes. Despite the Canes' big loss to Kentucky that dropped them 7 spots in the AP poll, head coach Tad Boyle labeled Miami as the best team CU will have faced up to that point in the season. And with the Buffs struggling on the road this year, they will have to play a spotless game of basketball to beat a Miami team that made the Final Four last season. But with a week off in between games, the Buffs have been hard at work preparing for the huge matchup. The game will be broadcast this Sunday on December 10th on ESPN2 at noon Mountain Standard Time.
Now, Buff fans, it's time for not just our usual play of the week, but play of the semester. We picked some of the greatest plays and moments from the past few months and asked you on our Twitter which of these was the best. Was it this acrobatic interception from Travis Hunter in the opening game against TCU, giving us just a taste of how incredible of a player Travis Hunter would be for CU this season? Was it this incredible goal by Amaya Gonzalez in a season full of highlight plays for the Soccer Buffs? This banger of a score being the only one to crack the Sports Center top 10 list. Was it this high-flying poster of a dunk by Cody Williams against Milwaukee? Or was it this game-ending field goal that won the game by Alejandro Mata, giving the Buffs what would unfortunately be their final win of the 2023 season against Arizona State? Stay tuned. The winner will be revealed later on in the show.
This week, Patrick Dawson sat down with the women's volleyball team's only international player to learn about her journey and her goals at CU and beyond. Let's take a look.
Is it rolling?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, I have to introduce myself. Do I say my full name?
Yeah, preferably.
My name is Anna Burilovic, and I'm from Split, Croatia.
Anna is a freshman hitter for the Buffalo's volleyball squad. She's been playing volleyball since she was very young, and she has dedicated her life to it ever since.
I was in the 5th or 6th grade. I can't really remember.
Her dedication has seen her become nationally recognized, as she first got the call to play for her country's national team when she was just a teenager. Having been on the team every year since, she's incredibly proud to represent Croatia.
It's just a really special feeling when you have your teammates by your side who have gone through so much with you, and when you win something for your country, it's just, I'm so proud to be in my national team.
Given that most European schools don't field sports teams, Anna has always seen the U.S. as an option for her to further both her academic and athletic aspects of her life at the exact same time. CU was the perfect choice for her.
I really liked how college looks here. You can have both sports and education.
Moving overseas comes with its obvious challenges, and Anna has done her best to navigate that with the help of her team.
But my teammates are...
Is it rolling?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait.
CU was the perfect choice for her.
I really liked how college looks here. You can have both sports and education.
Moving overseas comes with its obvious challenges, and Anna has done her best to navigate that with the help of her team.
But my teammates are very supporting, my coaches and professors, so I can't complain. Everyone has been super helpful.
What would you say the major cultural differences have been since you got
Well,
here?
the coffee culture, because when I'm at home and we want to get coffee, we just sit in a coffee shop for hours, gossip a little bit, just talk and have fun.
And what's the point of going through all this change? to achieve the very high standard for success that Anna has set for herself.
So I want to get a degree in psychology and also want to develop more as a player, maybe win a national championship, I hope. And I also want to play professionally after college.
Regardless of where Anna's time at CU takes her, we are super excited to see how the rest of her career plays out. Patrick Dawson, Sko Buffs Sports.
This past weekend saw the first edition of the Rocky Mountain Face-Off here in Boulder. The D1 men's hockey team kept it close on Friday night in Fort Collins, but a goal in the final minute by the Rams in combination with an empty netter led to the Buffs dropping the first game 4-2. On Saturday, in front of a packed CU Rec Center, Colorado controlled the entire game, scoring in the first minute and never trailed in their 5-3 win. The Buffaloes end the first semester with a 7-7 record and now get a month off before beginning the second semester on the road against Central Oklahoma.
On the latest edition of our hockey podcast, Dangle, Snipe, and Stampede, Jared Miller and Alex Roberts interviewed the men's D1 captain, Mark Borghi, about the win against Colorado State and how the first semester went. Take a look.
So it seems like there's a lot of, well, not a lot, but a couple new additions to the team this year, whether it's Marcin Kevinchus, Pearson, I think those are Wood,
of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Dougie.
And the lines kind of got bobbled up a little bit because last year it was you with McConaughey and Pashenik, and you all had over 20, 25 points, 28, 30, and 35. Playing with a bit of a different line with Trunco and DiDomizio this year, at least in the past couple weeks. What's the big difference in shift from last year to this year with the lines?
Obviously, I mean, I loved playing with Max and Drew. Like, we played together for a year and a half, 2 years, and we loved it. And we went into this year thinking we were going to play together as well. And kind of just like our first couple games, we weren't really clicking as well. And the good thing about having all these new additional guys is you have room to like actually move those lines around and see what does work. And I think we found 4 good lines, and we have the guys that aren't playing every game who can still come in and like make an impact on the 4th or 3rd line. And I mean, Roman's a great example. Like I don't think he was playing every game at the beginning, but he stepped right in with me and Tronco, and I thought he's been a very good presence on the dot.
Yeah, I really like seeing you guys play together. Like, you guys look like you're really gelling together now.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of seeing now like a more established line, because I think McConaughey's playing with Pearson and Wood. That line's looking really good together. They're looking like they've been playing for
exactly.
like how long you Drew and Max were playing before, like.
Yeah.
And then Max is playing with Rapp and George, and they played. Fred joined the line on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I love the way that you guys have been able to shift, and really not much has looked different. I mean, you guys look really good. Doesn't matter who's on what line. You guys just seem to have a lot of chemistry. And that's great right now.
Agreed. I think like the whole team, like, I mean, we're with each other every morning, every weekend, like playing together, and I think just over time you build a bond with every single one on the team, so it's almost at a certain point, no matter who you're playing with, like, you kind of know what their tendencies are, and the more you play with them, like, I'm starting to learn more about Trunco and Roman as well, but I think you put any of us out there with anyone else, and I think we gel pretty well, which I think it's been showing in the last couple weekends.
Continuing the busy stretch of hockey over the weekend was our women's hockey team, who played a 2-game series on ice against the Grand Canyon Antelopes. The women's team would complete the sweep against the Antelopes after rallying in the 3rd period to tie and then pulling ahead in the first game on Friday. Putting the Buffs ahead in that game was captain Melina Atwood, who had already scored in the 2nd period. Back in town on Sunday, the Antelopes looked elite on defense early, denying the Colorado Buffaloes any real scoring opportunities over the first half of the game. Unable to reciprocate on offense, the Antelopes only held on for a short while before the goals began pouring in for the Buffaloes. By the final horn, Colorado would win 5-2 and complete the sweep against the Grand Canyon Antelopes, wrapping up a tough road trip for Colorado for the Antelopes. The wins will help improve the women's team's chances of making the ACHA playoffs. That's it for women's hockey this semester. Their season will start back up on January 20th at Minnesota.
For the D2 men's team, though, scoring and winning have been tough to come by. The Buffs' second men's team has a record of 4-10-0 on the ice for a total of 12 points and are 1-7-2 in their last 10. A split that's good for 4th out of 5 of their conference and placed above only Wyoming. The Buffs have been outscored 107-64 this season and have just 4 players that have reached double-digit point totals, with 2, Tanner Simpson and Garrett Kovney, being the only players at a point per game pace.
Sko Buffs! Sko Buffs! Thank you.
Hey there, Buffs fans. It's Nick Evans here for our last rapid fire of the semester. We're going to start off with some upcoming games in the near future, beginning with Sunday's huge matchup against the number 15th ranked Miami all the way in Brooklyn. Winning this game will be crucial for Colorado to get back in the AP Top 25, and a solid performance on Sunday will almost guaranteed get them there. Also on the radar, a little further away on the 15th, the men's team will be back here at the CU Event Center against Northern Colorado, looking to continue their impact this season. Coming back closer to today though, this weekend our track team will be visiting Colorado Springs for the Air Force Holiday Open, and that'll be their last meet until we start back up next semester, except for the PASA Invitational on January 12th. And lastly, our ski season has finally begun. Because of the volume of meets that they'll have this season, I just put the month of January on there. Their first meet will be on January 2nd in Midway, Utah for their RMISA qualifier. And moving on, here is a calendar for the whole time we won't see you guys. Because of how many meets our ski season has, we only put up basketball matchups. The first thing you'll notice is that both teams will be on a road trip to both Arizona and California in early January, including the #1 men's team in the country, Arizona Wildcats. This team is dangerous against high-ranked teams though, so to be sure to catch it on the Pac-12 network. Before that though, both our men and women's teams will be hosting their first slate of Pac-12 teams at the CU Event Center. We're anticipating a competitive conference this year, so be sure to show up or catch the game on the Pac-12 network as well. And I'll step out of the way if you want to save this on your calendar. And once again, I am Nick Evans. Have a great winter break, and Sko Buffs.
All right, it's time to answer our trivia question this week, where we asked you when was the last time a Colorado player won a national award. The answer, drumroll please, is 2002 when Mark Marskell won the Ray Guy Award for being the best punter in college football.
This week's Tweet of the Week comes from our very own Jimmy Searfrost, who had his own take on who should have made the college football playoff. Through basic math, Jimmy proved that Colorado should have made it based on the teams they played and their history. Jimmy is once again correct and would definitely be worth a follow on Twitter. And now it's time to reveal our play of the semester. Drum roll please. The winner, receiving 78% of the vote, is Travis Hunter. His interception against TCU won the inaugural Player of the Week, and it's the play of the semester for good reason. His pick had every fan, commenter, and the entire college football world in shock. The Buffs would go on to upset the reigning national runner-ups in a statement victory that for the next few weeks would be put all eyes in the sports world in Boulder, Colorado. This was the first of many highlight reel plays by Hunter en route to an award-winning season that could not be more exciting to see what memories he can make next for the black and gold.
Well, that brings us to the end of our final episode for this semester. First of all, we want to thank all of you that tune in every week to watch, as well as the amazing staff behind and on the camera. You all are truly exceptional, but this year has been a wild one. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. As a Buff fan for over 15 years, this was by far one of the most fun years for CU athletics that I've experienced so far. What about you? What are you looking forward to next year?
Honestly, I'm looking forward to how the football team will perform next season, as well as starting up skiing. But as a freshman, I'm truly thankful for all the opportunities this year, including traveling to away games and so many things that I wasn't expecting. Well, that's all from us for today in this semester. We hope you have a great holiday, and as always, Sko Buffs.